difficulties. Yeah, I mean, I guess this class is too heavy for some brothers, some sisters. Yeah, I mean, they wasn't able to handle what we was bringing out. You know what I mean? But we won't let that stop us. You understand?
That's right.
I won't be able to see any of your questions or comments or anything. You know what I'm saying? So just bear with me. I mean, we had to switch to a different streaming device real quick. You know what I'm saying? But we gonna rock out for this next 30 minutes, right? All right, a few more scriptures I want to go over. You know what I'm saying? And we're gonna thug it out like that. All right. The water for y'all's patience. The water for y'all riding out with me. You know what I mean? If y'all can like and share this video one more time, Baba Kasha, I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? I had a few more scriptures I wanted to go over, right? Probably for like the next 30 minutes, we're gonna bang these scriptures out and we're gonna close the class out. All right. So I appreciate y'all's patience. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all you know what I mean, working with us. Lord willing, tomorrow we'll have a much better connection. You know what I'm saying? The internet will be, you know, we'll work out the kinks, y'all. So lucky for all the technical difficulties tonight. You understand? But we'll definitely work on getting them fixed and everything. So tomorrow when we go live and Thursday and all the other classes that we do, Lord willing, you understand, we'll be able to go live and not have some of the trouble that we was having tonight. All right. So for those that's logging back on, you know what I mean, if y'all can like and share the class, Baba Kasha, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna finish with Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10. Read it again one more time, so I'm gonna break it down.
The book of Proverbs chapter 6, verse 10.
Yeah,
a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep.
Okay, so now when you go up to verse 9, it says, "How long wilt thou sleep, O sluggard? When wilt thou rise out of thy sleep?" Right? Meaning what? Stop being lazy and then wake up from the spiritual sleep or the spiritual coma that brothers and sisters is in, right? Verse 10, what verse 10 is saying, "Yet a little sleep, a little slumber, a little folding of the hands to sleep," meaning what? A little bit of time to recover. You get my point? If you was in Vegas this weekend, y'all feel where I'm coming from. You needed a little sleep, and you needed a little slumber, and you need a little folding of the hands because it was going down like that in Vegas this weekend.
God.
You understand? It is not unlawful to sleep. It is not unlawful for a little bit of slumber. You get what I'm saying? But it is against the scriptures, and it is out of the spirit to be a sluggard.
Right.
You get my point?
Right.
That's what you don't want to be. You get what I'm saying? You don't want to associate yourself or surround yourself with brothers and sisters, you understand, who don't have the same zeal as you. You get my point? Unless you've built up enough strength to where you can be around them and it don't phase you. You get my point? That's how you want to do it. If you believe that being around that brother is gonna suck the zeal out of you, is gonna suck the passion out of you, you know what I'm saying? You want to avoid that brother. And what I mean by that is because like when you first start coming into the truth, right? You still deal with certain family members. You get my point? You still, go around certain cousins or brothers, whatever the case may be, because you got love for them, right? But if every time you go around them, they constantly trying to give you a blunt, they constantly trying to give you a Newport, they constantly telling you about, you know what I'm saying, some broads around the corner, you know what I'm saying, that's down to, let you run train on her and all that. You understand? You want to stay away from stuff like that. You know what I mean? If you around brothers, we like, oh man, I gotta go, man, I gotta go to class. And they sit there and say, oh man, kick with us, man, we ain't seen you in a minute. You get my point? You want to avoid brothers like that. You know what I'm saying? Now, if you strong enough, you be like, nah, man, I gotta go to class, man. Matter of fact, y'all should come to class with me. You get my point? That's what it end up happening. You get my point? So that's the spirit that you want to be in. You get what I'm saying? So it's okay to get a little bit of sleep, right? It's okay to get a little bit of sleep. It's okay to get a little bit of sleep, right? But you don't want to be a sluggard. You get what I'm saying? Sorry, give me 1 second. So, you know what I mean? That's it on that, right? Let's drop that. Let me get John chapter 5, verse 17, right? John chapter 5, verse 17 gets straight to the point. You know what I mean? This scripture right here ain't playing no games. You know what I'm saying? There's no misunderstanding in this scripture here, all right? Let's get it real quick.
The book of John, chapter 5, verse 17.
Uh-huh.
But Yahushua answered them, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work.
And I what?
And I work.
And I what?
And I work.
Meaning what?
Like basically my Father's, the Most High sets up where the work needs to be done, and Yahushua goes and works in there.
Right. And if he goes to do the work, that means he's what?
He's zealous.
Right. And if he's zealous, that means he's what?
Doing the work.
And if he's doing the work, that means he's what? You take a shot? No? If he's doing the work, what does that mean?
He's not asleep.
You own it.
He's not a sluggard.
Yes. Raise your hand, but yes. If he's doing the work, that means he's not a sluggard. You get what? That's why I said you was owning. You just had to bring me home. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Being asleep is one thing. Getting a little bit of sleep is one thing, but being a sluggard is a whole nother thing. You know what I'm saying? And one thing that Christ wasn't, he wasn't a sluggard. You get my point? Christ was zealous. Christ, his whole mission, his whole objective was about doing the work. He didn't have time for nothing else but the work. You get my point? There's a scripture, I'm going to paraphrase where he said, I'm about my Father's business. Captain Akai said that in one of his songs. You know what I mean? One of his bangers. You get my point? I mean, shit. I mean, I don't think he made a song that wasn't a banger, but again, that's a whole other conversation for another day. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to that brother, you know what I'm saying? My big brother, you know what I'm saying? Captain Akai, I'm Ryan. You understand? But the point that I'm trying to make is when Christ said, my Father worketh hitherto, and I work, meaning the Most High works, I work.
God.
And if Christ is working, he cannot be a sluggard because he's constantly working.
God.
Why? Because it's not possible to do both. You can't be both. You understand? You're either gonna be a worker or you're gonna be a sluggard. You're either gonna be full of the zeal or you're gonna be a lazy ass nigga. One is one or the other. You get my point? Come on with it.
That kind of go with is it wise to say that goes with the that passage? I got to paraphrase it, but you can't love two masters.
You can't serve two masters. Yeah, you can't serve two masters. Meaning what? You can't serve the Most High and serve Call of Duty.
Right.
You get my point? Now, I'm not saying there's something wrong with playing Call of Duty, but if you don't go to class because of Call of Duty is your master. You get my point? If you don't go to class because you're on Facebook Messenger is your master.
Right.
You understand? That's Matthew 6 and 24 to your point. When the scripture says you can't serve two masters, I believe it's either we don't have to read it. I'm gonna get it real quick. It's either Matthew 6 and 24 or 25. That breakdown right there. Yes, it's 6 and 24. Okay. That's actually one of those verses. And Lord willing, maybe on Thursday or maybe another class, you know what I'm saying? I'll go into that breakdown because that's one of my favorite breakdowns right there, right? But the thing about it is though, right? If you chasing women and you make yourself unclean so that you're not able to go to camp, women are your masters.
Right.
You get my point? Anything that's against the Most High is your master. Whether it's money, whether it's cars, whether it's jewelry, anything that's causing you to not serve the Most High, that's your master. Because the scripture says you're gonna love one and hate the other. You get my point? So if you love money to the point to where you're willing to do anything to get it, you hate the Most High. You get my point? So to bring it back full circle, you either about to work or you on some lazy shit. You get my point? One or the other. But the thing about it is, the bottom line is if you're about to work, you know what I'm saying? We got work for you here. You know what I mean? Come on in. We got something for you. You get my point? But if you're not about to work, stay your ass at home, man. There's no room for you. You're just in the way. If you're not willing to put in the work, you're in the fucking way, man.
That's right.
You get my point? That's that.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? We're about doing work in here, man. Commander General Yohana has been holding it down since the 80s. And nobody has worked harder than that brother.
That's right.
You get what I'm saying? He's still here, 35 years in the game. He's still here working just as hard now as he was back in the 80s. You look at the Captain Cesaria, Captain Katazai. You know what I'm saying? Captain Ty Ward. No, Sluggard for breaking the order. But y'all get my point, though. Captain Akai. You know what I'm saying? I can go on and on and on and on and on. Officer Dawa Da. You understand? These brothers is constantly working Why? Because they're not sluggards. You get my point? You can't make it to the level that these brothers have made it to. Thank you, brother. Being a sluggard. You get my point? You cannot raise up this nation and be a sluggard. It's not possible. You get what I'm saying? So if you're going to be in here, be in here. You get my point? The doors is open. If you don't want to be in here, the doors are open. You understand? Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 15, verse 58. Check this out. Let's get 1 Corinthians 15 and 58.
Come.
Mm-hmm.
Ready, sir?
Let's get it.
Come. The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 15, verse 58.
Mm-hmm.
Therefore, my beloved brethren.
My who?
My beloved brethren.
It shows you he's not talking to everybody, right?
God.
Keep reading.
Be ye steadfast
Uh-huh.
and unmovable.
On what?
Unmovable.
Uh-huh.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Doing what?
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Always. It doesn't say sometimes. It don't say when you feel like it. It doesn't say when you done had 10, 12 hours of sleep. Read that part again.
Always abounding in the work of the Lord.
Uh-huh.
For as much as ye know that your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
It is in vain.
It is not in vain.
The Lord
in the
don't see
Lord.
what you do.
Your labor is not in vain in the Lord.
You get my point? There's brothers in this school, right? Like a Captain Azania out there in Syracuse, a Captain Mashak. You get my point? There's brothers in this school who spinning many plates, and will still answer the phone. A Captain Imad out there in Philly, my main man, my brother. You know what I'm saying? I got so much love and respect for that brother. You know what I'm saying? My man Tabawan out there in California, that's another brother. No matter what's going on, that brother will pick up his phone. Officer Regalia, Officer Tawagabar, brothers that raised me up. You know what I'm saying? Them brothers are part of the reason why I've made it this far, is because looking at the brothers like that, because they pick up the phone, they do the work, they're steadfast, they're unmovable. Meaning what? Like, I'm here, as Officer Shalayala like to say, I'm 10 toes down. You know what I'm saying? I'm down to do the work. You get my point? You look at a Captain Marquard or Officer Ryan out there in Chicago. You get my point? These brothers is down to do the work. They're unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord. You get what I'm saying? And that's the spirit that we have to be in. In order to get the kingdom, we have to be unmovable in this truth. We have to be unwilling to compromise what we believe in, what we've been taught. You get what I'm saying? We cannot compromise ourselves for this truth or this truth for nothing or nobody. You get what I'm saying? You cannot be a weak ass nigga.
All right.
You understand? You cannot be a weak ass, effeminate ass, hard-headed bitch. You cannot be that and be in here. You understand me? You got to be in this thing, and you got to be in this thing to the death or until Christ returns, whichever one comes first. You understand? But if you die 10 toes down, guess what? There's a reward waiting for you. You get my point? And if you still in the trenches when Christ returns, you still alive, and you in the trenches, guess what? There is a reward. Either way, there's a reward for you. You get what I'm saying? The UPK is the home of no cowards, no excuses. You understand? This is not the home for weak-ass niggas and loudmouth bitches.
Right.
You understand? This is not the place for that. You get my point? You take that shit to IUIC. You get my point? You go to Bethel AME Church.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? You go to Las Vegas Church of Christianity or whatever the hell. You get my point? But you don't bring it in here. You get what I'm saying? Because we're about our Father's business.
Right.
You understand? Let me get 1 Corinthians chapter 16, verse 10. Let's get that.
The book of 1 Corinthians, chapter 16, verse 10.
Mm-hmm.
Now, if Timotheus come, see that he may be with you without fear. For he worketh the work of the Lord.
He do what?
He worketh the work of the Lord, as I also do.
As I also do, right? He said, for he worketh the work of the Lord. Let no man, it says, see that he may be with you without fear. What does it mean that when he says See that he may be with you without fear. What does that mean? All right.
See if you know whatever you down to do, that he's down to do it without worrying about what his brother and his uncle, his family is gonna think of, what his friends gonna think of, what his job gonna think of, what everybody else in the world gonna think of him. See if he's actually gonna be about the work, or if he's still I can't remember which verse you had just pulled earlier, where he asked Yahushua if he can go and say goodbye.
Right, that's in Luke. I see what you're saying. You own it, but you didn't bring it all the way home, right? You want to take a shot? Nah? Okay. You want to take another shot?
Kind of. So to see if he actually all about like just going all in with the work, basically.
See that he may be with you without fear.
Right. So if I'm all about the work with no fear, then he should be as well, because it's one body, one mind.
No.
Okay.
It says, see that he may be with you, meaning Timotheus be with you without fear, meaning he shouldn't have any fear of what?
The work.
Not him. Damn, I'm gonna give it away. I almost gave it away. It says, see that he may be with you without fear.
He's not worried about you not being able to put in the work.
Exactly.
He doesn't doubt you. So like
no, you're right. I'm gonna bring it home for time's sake. It says, see that he may be with you without fear, meaning what? He's not worried about, because he knows what he's coming to do.
Right.
He shouldn't be worried about, damn. When he comes, he should know, hey man, this nigga's willing to work just as hard as I am.
Right.
He's not coming through like, damn, I hope these niggas is ready for this work, man, because I'm coming through the work. That's why at the end of the verse it says, he worketh the work of the Lord as I do. This is Paul telling the brothers in Corinth. He worketh the work of the Lord as I do. So in other words, make sure that you're ready to do the work. Don't let that brother come from wherever he's coming from, and he's like, man, these niggas they ain't ready. They ain't ready for this work. You get my point? Come on with it.
They're sluggards.
Thank you. He's trying to make excellent point. He shouldn't have in his mindset, these niggas is sluggards. When he comes to you, he's not supposed to have, oh shit, man, I'm finna have to do all this shit by myself. I'm gonna have to do all this heavy lifting by myself. Damn that. You understand? When a brother comes from another city and he trying to go to camp and all that, that brother should know whatever, you know what I'm saying? He should know everything that he's willing to do. He should know that you're willing to do the same thing.
Right.
You get my point? Nigga, I'm coming from goddamn Minnesota. I'm coming from Texas. I'm coming from South Carolina. I'm coming to your city to go to battle with you at camp. And there shouldn't be a doubt in that brother's mind whatsoever about you. You get what I'm saying? If you're about to work, he won't have to worry about nothing. But if you got a little bit of sluggard in you, he gonna be looking at you like, I don't know. This nigga look a little suspect, and I don't know. You get my point? And that's the spirit that we don't want to be in. You get what I'm saying? Let me get Matthew chapter 21, verse 18.
You said 21 and 18? So
Matthew chapter 21, verse 18. Let me get a time check real quick, young man. What time is it?
It's 17.
8:17. All right, I'm going to try to bang these out real quick. We're going to end the class a little early tonight. I'm going to try to put the class at 8:30. If I don't get through all these scriptures to lock it, I'll do it as a pre-topic for my next class. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to try to bang these out as fast as I can. All right? Because this is a heavy-ass class, because this class is multi-layered.
right.
On so many levels. You get my point? And the thing about it is, right, if you're sitting out there and you listening to this tape and you think I'm talking to you, you should be looking in the mirror. You should be questioning yourself.
Right.
You understand?
That's right.
Because I'm not talking to anyone directly.
Right.
You get my point? Because that's gay, right?
Kind of kind.
You go to a brother, you know what I'm saying? You go to that sister, whatever the case may be, in the spirit of brotherhood. You don't do faggot shit and you don't do the sneak this and the subliminals and all that. You cut the shit and you go straight to the source.
Right.
You get my point?
Kind.
This right here is an attempt to build brothers up. You get what I'm saying? To get them to shake off that demon of laziness and put back on the spirit of zeal. You get my point? How can you be around General Muhammad? How can you sit in General Muhammad's class and your zeal not go from here way up here? Just listen, just being around that brother and looking at how he commands a room should make you say, I gotta step my game up. You get my point? Come on with it.
It's like, if I may, sir, just real quick. On the Wednesday class last week, General Muhammad had actually pulled me to the side to have a conversation and whatnot, tell me a few things. You know, just off of what you said, like it was exactly just that. Just, you know, hearing them few little words.
Right.
Like, I'm not even gonna take credit for, you know, what had happened this past weekend. Like, it was a lot of that was what came from the motivation that he even put in me in the first place.
You get my point? Yeah, that's the thing. Yeah, you want to ask some more?
No, kind of, that was it, sir.
You get my point though. When you're around certain brothers, automatically your zeal should go up. You get my point? When you look at a Captain Mashak, this brother is spinning many plates, and this ain't no name dropping shit. This is just point out brothers that are in this thing. You understand? For the duration. You look at Officer Ayash Kabawad out there. You understand, in Oklahoma. You know what I mean? You look at brothers like that, Officer Natazai out there in South Carolina. You look at brothers like that, right? When you see those brothers and you know the thing that they've accomplished, it should instantly motivate you to be like, you know what? I pray that I accomplish the thing that brother's accomplished. And what that'll do is that'll raise your zeal up, and it'll give you the strength to fight that sluggard that's in you. Because we all got it in us. We just got to have the strength and the courage that it takes to fight that sluggard. We got to fight that demon. You get my point? Sometimes that sluggard, that demon, that sluggard demon can come in the form of a woman. You get my point? And you want to be up under that bra so much to where you don't want to do nothing else. You get what I'm saying? You read about Ezekiel and you see how that worked out for him. You get what I'm saying? He was more concerned with being with his girl than he was about doing the work. And you see how that worked out. So you get my point? So what is the lesson to be learned in that? Don't be weak up under some bitch. You get my point? Especially if she ain't even worthy of it. I'm not saying that you should be weak up under your woman at all. Right. You understand? If you 10 toes down and you about this work, your woman will understand that you about this work. Right. You get my point? And she won't just nag and cackle and be all in your goddamn ear all the goddamn time. You understand? She will understand that you about your father's business. And she'll lay in the shadows and she'll support you. You get what I mean? She'll be your crutch. You get what I'm saying? She'll be that ride or die. You understand? She'll be there to take your boots off. You get what I'm saying? And cook you a meal. You know what I mean? And warm your food. All those things. Make you a cup of coffee. You know what I'm saying? Make you a cup of strong, but whatever the case may be. But what she's not going to do is she's not going to interfere with the work of the Lord. Right. You get what I'm saying? Because you're about your father's business. If you really about your father's business, under no circumstance would you even let her interfere with none of that. You get my point? You'll kick that bitch to the curb quick. Right. And what I mean by it, I don't mean like divorce her, because that's unlawful. Right. I mean, listen, I got business. Listen, I'm gonna be over here. When you ready to get your shit together, come holler at me. Right. Until then, I'm over here doing my thing. Right. You understand? You know where I'm at. You see what I'm saying? That's what I mean when I say that. You know what I mean? Because I'll never teach that divorce is lawful outside of, you know what I'm saying, a sister committing adultery. Outside of that, she belongs to that man. That's his headache. Right. That, you know what I'm saying? That brother did you a favor. Look at it like that. You get my point? That is straight up and down. Listen, man, if you going to bed with a goddamn Loch Ness monster, you understand? You go to bed with a fire-breathing dragon, you understand? A Stay Puft Marshmallow Man looking ass dragon, you understand? And she goes and she sleeps with another man, which you supposed to say, Barakatah Yahweh Shai, the water, sir, for lifting that burden from me, so now I can concentrate that much more on doing the work, because I was slacking. I was low-key on some slugger shit. Now that you done removed this bitch up out of my life, I can do my thing. And in the midst of you doing your thing, guess what? Some sisters gonna be watching your class and gonna be like, God damn, who's that brother right there? That brother cut his dreads off. His lips ain't black no more. You get what I'm saying? What's the hell? What's happening with that brother? And next thing you know, you went from one evil, wicked, low-life, disgusting, trifling bitch to 10 beautiful princesses of the Lord. Get a Most High hand for that, man. Understand me? Understand me? That's what you want, man. You understand? That's what it's all about. You get my point? But how do you get there? How do you get to that point? Stop. Young man, I'm going to give him a shout. Doing the work. That's the only answer you can give, right? The only way that you can get to that point is by doing the work. And by doing the work, you'll get stronger. Right. You'll build yourself up. Right. You get my point? And if that sister's down with you, you understand you'll be able to build her up or she'll flee the scene. Right. Because she'll see the transformation in you.
Right.
She'll see that you're no longer a bitch ass nigga. You get my point? She be like, man, this nigga right here, I can't get at him the way I used to, because that nigga come with the fire. You get my point? You get on that's the mentality that you have to have, man. If you start to shed yourself of the world, you get to put on the you get that zeal up in you, and you get that spirit on you, you get that Holy Spirit up in you, and you have the strength in the zeal, and you have the backing of the Most High to take on giants and win.
Right.
We've been doing it since '69.
That's right.
You understand me? That's what we do. We win. We take over shit. We go to zones where there's nobody. We'll put one brother in there, and a year later there's 20. You get my point? When Captain Cesariak was in New York, there was nobody there. And now look at New York.
Right.
You want to know why? Because that brother's not a slut. You get my point? That's what it's all about. You understand? You want to know why Captain Cesariak was able to build up Boston? Because it's not a sluggard.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You want to know why DC is on smash? Because Captain Mashak is out there putting in the work. He's not a slugger. He's not weak up under some female.
Right.
You get my point? And you brothers have to be strong enough, you understand, to deny yourself. You understand?
Okay.
Think about what I'm saying though, right? Listen, man, there's nothing wrong with having a woman. There's nothing wrong with that. You know what I mean? She can bring you joy. You understand? But also understand she can bring you pain.
Right.
You get my point? Y'all heard Frankie Beverly and Maze, joy and pain. You understand? I'm trying to tell y'all, man. Listen, man, I'm trying to tell y'all. You get my point? A woman can bring you a lot of joy, but she can also bring you a lot of pain. You get what I'm saying? And you brothers have to have the heart. You have to have the courage. You have to have the zeal to stand up and fight that monster. You get what I'm saying? You have to have the courage to say, fuck that. You're going to do what the hell I say, or you can get the hell out of my house. Whatever the hell you want to do. You get my point? You're either going to get with me, and you're going to get on this chariot with me, or you're going to get burned up with the rest of the heathens. It's your choice. How you want to do it. You understand? That's what it comes down to. You want to know why? Because life is about war, right? I'm going to save the rest of these scriptures for another class, right? Let me get, man.
You have me on Matthew 21.
We gonna hold that. Let me get, the weapons of our warfare are not carnal, but spiritual. Let me get that real quick. We're going to end the class on that, right? Let me see if I can find it real quick. Man, let me see. Is that in Corinthians? I don't even have my phone. I don't even have my notes with me. Find that scripture for me. I rock Baba Kishar. We're going to end the class on that.
Corinthians 10:4, sir.
Let's check it out.
That's a Google check, so that's what I'm going to.
That's the one. That listen, man, this is the one right here, right? We're gonna end the class on this one right here, right? Let me get 2 Corinthians chapter 10, verse 4. This is one of my favorite scriptures. You get my point? Brother, I want you to take this scripture with you. I want you to meditate on this scripture. I want you to meditate on all these scriptures, but I really want you to meditate on this scripture just based on the conversation that me and you have had, all right? Read that when you got it, please.
The book of 2 Corinthians, chapter 10, verse 4.
Give it to me.
For the weapons of our warfare are not carnal.
They are carnal.
Are not carnal. But mighty through God to be pulling down of strongholds.
To be pulling down of strongholds, right? Let me see something. There's another one too. That was a good one too. Let me see. That's. Let me see something.
I know which one you're looking for.
For those watching. Okay, even then, if you read verse 3 says, "For though we walk in the flesh, we do not war after the flesh." You get what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That's a good one too. But there's another one. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find that. Let me see something. Let me see if I can find that one. That one's one of them. But that's not the one I'm looking for. Let me see. Give me 1 second, y'all. Let me see something. Is this the one? No, that's not it either. Let me see. Give me 1 second. Let me see. Which one is that one, man? Oh, here it is. This is this the one? Give me Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12. That's the one I was looking for. This. Oh yeah. Let me get Ephesians chapter 6, verse 12 and 13, brother. Write these down. Second Corinthians 10:4 was a good one, but this is the one I was looking for right here. Right, write these down in your notes, my brother. You understand, and meditate on these, and it'll help build you up. You understand, so that you can go into battle. You get my point? Let's get these. We're gonna close the class on this again, y'all. So lock it for the technical difficulties. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna work out these kinks. We're gonna get everything up and running. You understand? Follow us on ISUPK Las Vegas on Facebook and ISUPK Nevada on YouTube. Barbecue Shot. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? If y'all can like and share all these videos, not just the videos that we put out, but the videos in Memphis, DC, Tennessee. You understand? Nashville, right? South Carolina. You understand? Brothers is putting in a lot of work, putting in a lot of diligence. Cincinnati, Indianapolis, Syracuse. Brothers across the four corners of the earth is putting in the work. They're zealous. You understand? In putting these classes together. You know what I mean? And let's support this truth. You understand? Let's pay our tithes. You know what I mean? Let's support these classes. Let's share these classes, all the classes. Let's just flood Facebook with nothing but classes from North Carolina all the way to goddamn Trinidad and Tobago. You understand? Let's finish on this, right? Let's get it.
Ephesians 6 and what, sir?
6 and 12. I want 12 and 13.
12 and 13.
Mm-hmm.
Sir.
Mm-hmm.
The book of Ephesians, chapter 6, verse 12.
Uh-huh.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood.
For we what?
We wrestle not against flesh and blood, but against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness of this world, against spiritual wickedness in high places.
Against what?
Against spiritual wickedness in high places.
For we wrestle not against flesh and blood, meaning our fight is not
with flesh and blood.
Meaning it's not carnal.
It's not carnal.
You was right, but it was a word I was looking for. It's not a physical fight. We're not fighting our flesh. It's a spiritual battle. When it says against principalities, against powers, against the rulers of the darkness, it's against homosexuality. It's against, even though they legalize weed, we got to be against weed. You get my point? Even though they legalize prostitution, we got to be against prostitution. Even though in the world they tell you that the woman is queen and she runs everything, and if you don't do what she say, you got to sleep on the couch. You got to be against that. You get what I'm saying? You got to shake off the principalities and the powers of this world. You got to understand that your battle is not physical.
Right.
It's spirit. It's all up here. That's why you have to be
sober-minded.
You have to be sober-minded. Why? Because if you're sober-minded, you'll see the bullshit coming from a mile away, and you'll drop kick that shit. You get my point? Keep reading.
Verse 13.
Wherefore take unto you the whole armor of God.
Some of it.
The whole armor of God.
Half of it.
Whole armor of God. That ye may be able to withstand in the evil day. And having done all, to stand.
You understand? Meaning what? Take on the whole armor of God. Meaning what? Take these law, statutes, and commandments on. Put that shit of righteousness on. Lift up that zeal. Fight off that sluggard spirit. Fight or that sluggard demon. Fight that shit off. Put on the whole coat of armor of zeal. Put 10 toes down. Put 10 fingers in the dirt. And be the man that the Lord called you to be. Shake off the dust. You get my point? Stop being some soft-ass, faggot-ass nigga.
Right.
You understand? Be the man that the Lord called you to be. And don't ever compromise yourself or this truth for nothing or nobody. You understand? And with that, we're at Israelite School of Universal Practical Knowledge, started at 1 West 125th Street, Harlem, New York. You understand? This is the ISUPK Las Vegas Tuesday Brotherhood class. You understand? Sluggard for cutting the class short. We'll be back tomorrow. You understand? We have classes every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday at 7 p.m. and Saturdays at 3 p.m. You understand? If you need to contact ISUPK Las Vegas, you know what I'm saying? Look for us on Facebook. You understand? And with that, Shalom, Yahweh Bashim Yahushua, brother thumb to the brothers. Shalom, Yahweh Shemal the thumb, Bashim Yahushua to the sisters.